Empire sake, you made the ultimate sacrifice. This is the hour of your dark rebirth. Death's power grows. Rise and become my champion.
The armistice is signed. At long last, the Fourth War is over.
Not while the Black Moon still cries out for vengeance. Not until the Horde has answered for its treachery.
Further bloodshed will not bring back the fallen. We must renew our hope and forge a future for those who survived.
And when the next war chief musters an army, will hope save you if it is Stormwind that burns?
I know it's difficult to trust, but there are signs of change within the Horde. In place of a war chief, there is now a council, led by Bane, Thrall, and the others. I believe they can—
Your faith is naive, Lion's son. I will sign no treaty unless it is written in the Banshee's blood!
There is truth in her words, Anduin. Peace may be on the table today, but soon enough, the Horde will sound their drums and march for war. When that day comes, no scrap of parchment will hold them back.
The path to peace will not be easy, and not all will choose to walk it. But this is the only way to build a better future. I believe it will work, Gen. It has to.
The Alliance has sent word. They have agreed to the armistice. This bitter war is finally over.
At last, we can begin to heal our wounded Earth Mother and the wounded Horde as well.
One question remains. Who will serve as war chief? Perhaps you, Thrall, would...
No. I told Sarvang I would not lead the Horde again. But perhaps the question is not who should become war chief, but whether there should be one at all.
Though the Horde has changed through the years, for good or ill, we have always looked to a war chief to guide us forward.
That legacy must end. The war nearly cost us everything. There is no place for a war chief in a time of peace. It is true. The Horde has changed. Our ranks have grown, and new voices have stepped forth to lead. This is what makes us strong. All of us, building a new future together.
We Vulpera have always been resourceful. No matter the adversity, we do what it takes to survive and keep our family strong. The Horde helped us when we needed it. And now, it's time to return the favor. A fair trade, if you ask me. A whole world of adventure is awaiting you out there. Explore it and become a hero. For the Vulpera, and for the Horde.
We Mechagnomes spent years in isolation, tirelessly enhancing our bodies and minds. But this relentless quest for perfection nearly brought us to ruin. Now we realize that balance is the key to happiness. We can improve ourselves without losing our individuality in the process. It is time to leave Mechagon and rejoin our gnomish cousins. Together, we will forge a brighter future for the Alliance.
The final truth in form.
stop him!
There is always a way. Save our world, champion, no matter the cost.
Since being wounded by the Mad Titan, Azeroth has been crying out in pain. In her hour of need, she lent you her power. Today, at long last, she's free from the grasp of the old gods. Her song rings clear and strong throughout this chamber. Hold her heart with pride. Know that you are more than a champion of your people. You are a champion of Azeroth! There we go. You can use that console to connect us to the Chamber of Heart.
Remote link established. Awaiting circuit completion.
Hold your horses, lass. This thing didn't exactly come with instructions. Ouch! That stung. Wait. It all makes sense now. Connecting the power circuit. What's this? Interesting. I'll remember that for later. There! The link is up!
Acknowledged. Rerouting power to Forge of Origination. Circuit established. Restoring power. Error. Forge operating at 37% efficiency.
37? That can't be enough to keep Azeroth protected.
Affirmative. Additional power sources required. Initiating query for suitable alternatives. Stand by.
It looks like our work isn't done, champion.
Enough! You cannot break me like you broke my father!
The Black Dragonflight will purge your master from Azeroth!
Impudent dragon! All of your kind will bow before Nzoth!
With me, champion! Let us bring this to an end! As you have seen, the Mantid have begun to swarm. I did not realize they had grown so bold as to invade Mogushan vaults. This is far too early for another cycle to begin. The rise of their new Empress must have spurred them to action. Meanwhile, our scouts report that a massive Mogu army is assembling in the north, in numbers not seen since the days of Lei Shen. With the attention of the Golden Lotus divided, the Mogu clearly see an opportunity to conquer the Vale and subjugate everyone within. Most troubling of all, though the Vale has been cleansed of the Shah's corruption, a tangible sense of dread lingers in the air. The High Keeper speaks of a looming threat that we are powerless to stop. I cannot draw him out of his malaise. Perhaps you will fare better.
We know little of the Amethet, save that they believe themselves the sole defenders of the Titan's great works. In their eyes, all others are corrupted by the curse of flesh, and are enemies of the Makers. It is imperative that they be kept away from the Forge. To the west, another threat looms. Terrible monstrosities have emerged from the sands and gather in great numbers. Though we suspect they hail from Entourage, they are unlike any Karaji or Silithid we have faced before. And worst of all, our priests are plagued by unrelenting nightmares. They see our cities burning to ash, and our people turning against each other. I fear that these visions are but the harbinger of something far more dire. We must prepare ourselves for disaster.